Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading, and this is for the first 10 days of August. And you, Virgo, are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Virgo, we all have a little bit of Virgo in us somewhere. Where does Virgo show up in your chart? If you have it done, that will give you further clarity as to where this information is most prominent for you. All right, this is also a general or collective reading, so just take what resonates with you and leave the rest. The underlying energy for the reading is the star. The star is talking about being on your divine path, following your north node. That's the North Star. And then we also have the Pleiades there. So this is talking about adding your own special, unique qualities to the universal pool and then pouring that out onto Earth. And so we have 5 streams here. And the 5 streams on Earth here actually represent the 5 points on the pentacle, which is what represents the Earth energy. So this is talking about being on your divine path, adding your own special, unique qualities to the earth to make it a more beautiful place, and being the best version that you can be. And we do have an energy of the Lovers coming in as well. So the Lovers is talking about quite often a divine partner coming in that has been ordained by God. And this is talking about someone that's going to uplift you and you uplift them, and you it's like a power couple. Now the energy here, there's a cloud in between them that is saying that you probably don't know this person, or you haven't had a relationship with this person as of yet. You may know them, you may know of them, but you haven't had like an intimate connection with them. And in the old days, when tarot first came out, the Lover's card was actually about choice of anyone in your intimate circle. So it doesn't have to be romantic love, although it quite often is. It could be love of anyone or anything, and it can also be something you love to do or something you love to be. And then we have a tower hitting. So the tower is when, kaboom, your intuition has been trying to get your attention and you haven't caught on. And so this is something that it's a reality check, and it hits hard. This is something that's been brewing for a while. And so, at first the universe will whisper to you, you need to take a look at something, but you don't. And so then the frying pan treatment comes out, whack over the head, and you're like, ouch. And the universe says, hey, that's nothing. Wait till you get the 2x4. You need to pay attention, but you don't. So then the next thing we have is the lightning hitting the tower, and your whole castle's on fire. There's people falling out of it. And now you're going to have to rebuild from the ground up. So this is talking about something that if you nip it in the bud, you might be able to prevent the tower. But there's something going on, and it might be totally out of your control, but you need to pay attention to it. And this is the energy you're in right now. That's how you feel about yourself right now, that you can feel a tower coming. And it might have to do with your lifestyle. This is talking about the Four of Pentacles is saying you do have a strong foundation for making money. Like you have enough to pay your rent and your bills, etc. But you don't have enough to go after your heart's desires or your crowning glory. And the crowning glory is when you're in this energy here. So this is talking about, safe money, and not maybe taking the risks that you need to, calculated risks, of course, when it comes to finances, but to get into your heart's desires. And it also is talking about having to sometimes leave your comfort zone. He's got his back to the city, and this could be like where he grew up. And so it's talking about having to leave your comfort zone to get to the next level of making money. And also, not playing small and not selling yourself short or allowing others to sell you short. And so this could represent an energy of your abundance lacking right now. And that might have something to do with this tower here, because there's some information coming in about pentacle energy. Now, the pentacles are not just about money for sure. This is about lifestyle. You could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle you want. The Knight of Pentacles works for the King and Queen of Pentacles, and he is coming in with some sort of an offer or some information about Pentacles, maybe about this situation right here. The thing about the Knight of Pentacles is he takes forever to show up. He's the slowest knight of them all. Look at his horse is at a total standstill here. He could literally have a board meeting with himself about whether or not to brush his teeth. Like it's painfully slow, but when the information does come in, it's usually pretty reliable. And you know, Virgo is the middle pentacle sign. We have Taurus, then we have Virgo, and Capricorn is the most mature. So this is talking of, you know, the pentacle energy is talking about matters of the earth and, you know, the physical matter on earth. And so, of course, we need money to be able to have a good lifestyle, but it's not the whole thing. If you don't have your health and you don't have love in your life, then you're not going to be living your best lifestyle. And so there's something going on here. This is, and it could be going on for quite some time because, as I said, like the Knight of Pentacles is really slow to bring the information in. And this is in your communication from when you were a child. So this is, you know, however old you are, it's been talking that this energy has been in the background for a long, long time. We do have the Empress energy, and the Empress energy is talking about the ability to manifest at a very high level. She's considered to be pregnant with possibility, very fertile. So if you're not wanting to get pregnant right now, especially with the Tower here, you want to make sure that you take care of that. Or if you don't want, you know, to get someone pregnant. And then this is the energy of how she manifests. So if the wheat at her feet here represents the energy of that she can have a bumper crop at any time. And but she does put plans in place, and the way that she manifests is like she decides, okay, I'm going to start a project, and I decided I'm going to grow wheat in this field, and she's going to decide which field is the best field to grow the wheat in, and then she's going to make sure that she checks the soil to make sure that it doesn't, you know, like if it needs amending, if it needs fertilizer or any of that. And then she's going to also pick all the stones and rocks and anything that could damage the expensive seeding and harvesting equipment and get that off the land so that there's no damage. And then also she's going to decide, okay, when is the best possible time to sow this crop? And that's when she will seed it. Now, she's an organic farmer, so she doesn't spray. So that's about as much as she's willing to do up until harvest time. And she waves her wand and says, okay, thank you, nature. Thank you, universe. Take care of this for me. And she might do the odd rain dance when needed. But other than that, she pretty much is going to just leave it up to nature and the universe, confident that she will have a bumper crop. And she'll check in again when it's closer to time to harvest to see when the best time is to take her crop off. And now this is in your emotional foundation right now. So I feel like you had some information maybe of something coming in that's going to really empower you. This can be about inheritances, trust funds, investments that pay really well. It could be like someone leaving something to you in their will, like a land or a home, or, it represents real estate. It represents investments. And then we have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is she's the most traditional of the four queens in the minor arcana. And again, we have this cup of love, and the cups, it can be romantic, but it could be also the other forms of love that I mentioned with the lovers here. And this is her energy, like she's kind of more like a trad wife these days, or it would be someone like, when there was only one person working in a family, and someone could be home all day with the kids. It's that type of energy, someone who like loves to make a beautiful home and is in this energy of cooking and making really nutritious meals. And her first number one priority is her family and her, her home and the neighborhood and the community, that type of energy. She has, her cup is like a trophy. It's huge. And she also has a lid on it. This is representing being a container of unconditional love. Now, she would, of course, be most likely to be in a traditional marriage. And sometimes this can represent the maternal bloodline and the mitochondrial part of the cell. So when they're testing for DNA, if they want to track the maternal line back, way back into history, they can do so by using the DNA from the mitochondria of our cells. And that is passed down to both her sons and daughters, but it's only passed on down the line from mother to daughter. So it can be tracked through the maternal energy throughout, like way back. And so that's what they use sometimes if someone wants to track down the mother's maternal line. This could represent your mother. It could represent your grandmother, great-grandmother. It could represent aunts, people that you look up to as a mother figure, female cousins, sisters, that type of energy. And we do have a cup of love coming in. So it could be, you could be in this energy, you could be the Queen of Cups energy, or someone notices that, hey, you would make a really great wife and they want to offer you a cup of love. It could be either or. So the Knight of Cups is the knight in shining armor that we read about in the romance novels that comes in with a cup of love, an offer of love. Again, this doesn't have to be romantic, but quite often it is in, this setting here with the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. But this could also be some sort of something coming in from your maternal bloodline, an investment or something that you maybe weren't aware of. And there's a reality check saying, hey, you're supposed to be in this Empress energy, not in this energy here. This is talking about your abundance. So let's see what's going on. Maybe you're going to marry rich. My mom used to say, it's just as easy to fall in love with a rich man as a poor one. She was funny. And so this energy is talking about your internal forces. So your internal forces are saying that, there could be new love coming in, or some it could be romantic or it could be otherwise. With the Lover's card here and the Knight in Shining Armor, and the kind of the marriage energy, and like the Empress is also said to be pregnant with possibility. So all of that energy is very maternal and very like wife energy. And so let's see what's going on in the external forces. The external forces, we have a Page of Wands coming in with some sort of communication or information. Now, this represents the element of fire. And the wands are made of wood because wood fuels fire. So this is about taking passionate action. Now, there's a feather in his cap. This is a real coup for him to be working for the king and the queen. The pages would work really young, around 7 to 14, depending on how mature they were, because back then the life expectancy was like half of what it is now. And this would be a real coup for him, like, to be dressed, in this finery and to learn the ways of the elite. And he's very interested in the wonders of the world. And this is, think about a young masculine energy under the age of 21. Really, really excited about life and optimistic and adventurous, that type of energy. And he, you may notice, is very much focused on his wand. And this energy, you have to keep in mind with the Page of Wands, when he does bring his information or communication in, it can be, he quite often is looking up to his wand and is thinking with his little head. So sometimes, you have to really double check that his information isn't overly optimistic, or he just has his mind somewhere else. When he's 21, he could maybe even be considered for knighthood if he has enough pentacles to be able to purchase his own horse. And this energy, in the old days, this would always be a male, but you have to remember in tarot that the characters are all archetypes. So this could be a female in her masculine energy. And the thing that's significant about this page, when the page energy comes out, is this could be representing that this information goes all the way back to when you were in elementary school, high school, or maybe in, just starting college, university, or you're maybe apprenticing at work, or, just entering the workforce. And that energy, so it could be about that time frame, or it could even be about people that you met at that time. You might even still know some of them, or you run into someone again, the information communication coming in is from someone that you knew way back then. And that might even have like something to do with this, because the lovers can, there's a cloud in between them because you haven't had a relationship before, but you may know of them and haven't seen them since you were in grade 1. And then you bump into each other and you're like, whoa, you've really grown up. So this could be that type of energy. And then we have some sort of passionate energy is coming in. And then we have we have the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands is talking about feeling like really duty bound. This quite often is representing like feeling like you can't make the decision because it's people that you care about will be affected. And she's got a blindfold on, which is saying either she doesn't want to see the whole picture or she can't figure out what to do. The swords in tarot represent the energy or the element of air, and it's talking about thoughts. The swords are also your mental intelligence and discipline of your mind. And so she has, there's nothing physically stopping her from just walking out of this situation, but she feels like there's something that she has a very difficult decision to make and she's having trouble making it. And so she's managed to put 7 thoughts behind her. So I do feel that she's about to move forward and with this one thought, and that's what she's decided to do. At one point, I feel there was probably more water here. And, this is talking about emotion in tarot. She does have her right foot moving forward, and the right foot moving forward is about taking action. And it's talking about, it's on dry land, but her left foot is still in this puddle of water. It's shallow though. So, but that's not saying she has shallow emotions. It's saying that there was way more emotion when she started, but she's managed now to put 7 thoughts behind her. And if you notice, she has the castle in the background there. She's got her back to it. And it could be talking, and then there's all these thoughts behind her. So this could be talking about having to make a decision to leave people she loves, not wanting to, not wanting to, but having to. Like something's happened, and it's not going to benefit her to stay in a situation. So this is talking about sometimes also it can be the thoughts of others that were spoken behind her back. But I feel like she's about to move forward, cut herself free with this sword and make a move forward. Now, the thing is, this is in your external forces and about taking passionate action. So at least she's ready to take action now. She's not stuck here anymore. But this can be taught, this is in your partners, your commitments, and your spousal energy. So this is not, there's something going on in your, if you're married or if you have a business and you have a partner, or it could be something going on in your family. This information coming in has caused a tower. So let's see what's going on here. We have the Page of Pentacles. Now this is interesting because the Page of Pentacles is, this would be the same person here. So this is saying, there's a transition happening. There's someone that you know from when you were young that you still know. This is someone that knows some information about some pentacle energy. And it could be something that's in the family. And this is causing a tower. Here you are with your abundance at only 4 pentacles, but you're supposed to be living like an empress. So how is that happening? And I feel like there's someone in your family, or that, that knows your family, like, that you've known for a long time. This would be someone, like, again, going back to when you were in elementary school or something like that even. Could be a family member as well. Someone knows something about some pentacle energy here. And so, this is the first level coming in, but now there's even more information coming in. And then this is saying that it's been a long time coming, and this is saying new information is coming in. And now we have judgment being called. So, yeah. So the judgment is talking about, judgment starts from the Most High in the spiritual realm, and then it comes down to the earth, into the 3D. And the ancestors are literally climbing out of their box. They're so happy that finally justice is being called. And we have this energy of, the descendants are waving to them from across the veil. And so this energy is talking about judgment is being called. And sometimes this can represent skeletons coming out of the closet, or on a more global level, Pandora's box being opened. So there could be something that's happened that has caused some information to come out. And then we have the King of Swords. So the King of Swords energy is, an authority figure. And quite often this can represent, the legal system, or it's someone who earns their money with their words. Like, so they're an authority figure that's educated, and it can be talking about political energy. We do have the King of Swords here. Presidents, prime ministers, Congress, Senate, ministers in the federal government, provincial government, like people with clout that make laws and enforce laws, that type of energy. It could be a chief of police, prosecutors, judges, and it could be, if this is a lawyer, most likely a partner in an established firm. This also represents the energy of engineers, like with patents and, like intellectual material, researchers, that are maybe looking for cures to disease, etc. This could be a surgeon, a veterinarian, a dentist, a psychiatrist energy as well, or even a best-selling author, someone that speaks for a living, someone who's good with words and is educated enough to use they're not using their physical labor to earn their living. And the King of Swords understands that words can be used as weapons, and they can also be used as uplifting tools. Now, the energy here we're talking about in your career, and this is transition. When this information comes in, the judgment is higher knowing. So after knowing this, there's some judgment being called, and this can represent court matters as well as this. And this is also talking about your career, reputation, and public image. So something is happening, and this is external forces coming at you. So this could be someone that's well known in the community, someone in an authority position, in the ways that I mentioned earlier. And we have 9 of Pentacles here, and this is talking about pre-Empress energy. And so this is talking about this energy again. There's some sort of information coming in about Pentacles. Now, when it comes to the judgment, if you're, on the right side of the law, the judgment, when it comes in, it's going to be a blessing. But if it's on the wrong side of the law, it's going to be, you're caught. So it depends on what you've been up to, basically. But this is talking about pre-Empress energy. So the Empress has all the qualities of all 4 queens. So this is saying that you've learned a lot about the give and take, and having discernment about how much time, money, and energy to invest in any project, and how, or in people, in situations. and also the give and take, like how much, what do you anticipate the return being for your investment, and is it a fair exchange of energy? So, and it's also talking about needing to look after yourself, because if you don't look after your interests first, then you're not going to be in a position to look after others. And so this always reminds me of Nikola Tesla, because he would always say, the famous inventor and genius, he would always say, if you knew the beauty of the 369, then you would have the key to the universe. And we've got like 3, 6, and 9, and then we have this falcon representing having the foresight to know how much time, money, and energy you invest in something, and anticipating a strong return from it. So I feel like this is a ratio, and so she has her hand on 2/3 of the pentacles that she has, and she's using that. She knows that's what she needs to maintain her household and her businesses, and to make sure that there's an emergency fund. And then she has these 3 over here, and one of those could be charity, another one could be representing the energy of an investment that's a little more risky, but she's willing to risk it because it'll really improve her financial portfolio overall, but it won't impede her ability to pay her bills, etc., if it falls through. And the other one could just be saving up for a vacation or something like that. So this is talking about having the discernment to be able to get to this energy. And I do feel that there's some external forces here that have been maybe holding on to your pentacles here for you without your knowledge, though. There's something not right here, and justice is coming in about it. So the justice is, again, coming from the spiritual realm down to the physical. And I feel like this could be something like, because the ancestors are cheering, this could be something way back when that happened, and you were supposed to receive something and you didn't receive it. That's what I feel. And some sort of justice is coming in. There's been some information, and because this is in your blessings, and so to go from this to this is huge. And the justice, it's talking about how justice comes from the spiritual realm and then comes down to the physical. And she's got her, in her right hand, she has a sword of justice, and it's a double-edged sword. And if you're on the right side, it's going to be a blessing. If you're on the wrong side, well, you've been caught, and you're going to have to deal with the consequences of your actions. And then we have the right foot forward here. And this is talking about very similar to this energy here. So I feel like this is a decision that you had to make to maybe take legal action or whatever once you found out something about some pentacles that you were supposed to maybe receive and you didn't. And this is talking about justice coming in. And this is God's judgment, so it's going to happen. And this is talking about hidden illusions, any secrets coming out in this position. It's moving into a new spiritual realm. So this here is talking about the tower is uncomfortable for everyone, and that's why this energy is here. But the energy is, again, if you're on the right side of the law, you're going to look back at this and say, whoa, thank goodness that tower happened. It was so uncomfortable, but sometimes the truth can be really hard to hear. So it's that type of energy. So as long as you're on the right side of the law, this is a blessing. Even though, you can, and this is how all the readings so far have been. We, as I'm doing this reading right now, we have the full moon, and it was intense energy for the last few days. You might have felt it really heavy. It's lightening up a little bit now. Probably by, in another couple days, it'll ease off. But you may have been noticing that the energy is really quite heavy. There's a lot of astrological influences where big hitting planets, like large planets, made moves. And It's just affecting the energy to be more intense. I'm going to clarify this for those that want clarification. I'm using my Oracle Tales from the Vector, and it's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. We have the numbers on these cards represent the energy, or sorry, the paintings as they're listed in my gallery. And this is on talesfromthevector.com. And I will put them in the description box below in the order they appear here so that you could go look there if you want more clarification after this. They say a painting paints 1,000 words. So we do have Mother's Worry here on your star energy. So this is talking, you know, this card has been coming up a lot. This could refer to this energy here and here. So there could be, maybe it's from your maternal line that you were left something and no one told you. And somehow or another it got misappropriated or something. So your mother could be worried. She may have passed and crossed the veil, or this could be from a grandmother or something, something down your maternal bloodline, because it came up at the beginning of the reading here. And so, but this card has been coming up because a lot of people are feeling like kind of like that heavy energy of worry on the earth right now. There's a lot going on the earth, lots of weird energy. And then we have the Aries energy, and this is partly because of it. When the horoscope signs come up, I just want to point out, I'm not talking about individual people. I'm talking about the sign itself. If you ever do get your birth chart done, you'll notice that you have all the signs in there somewhere, and this information can be very valuable as to, improving your life, because every sign has its own strengths and weaknesses and its specialties, and we can really learn from the energy. So when they come in, I'm reading them more the sign. In your own individual reading, you could say, no, there's an Aries and there's a Capricorn, and that very well could be. But just be aware that that's not my intention, and you'll have to use your intuition for that. I feel the Aries is talking about all this new energy that came in. In the last 6 months, there was like 6 planets that moved into Aries. Now, some of them have moved out, but we still have the heavy hitter of Neptune is in Aries, and so is Saturn at this time. And those are 2 major planets that are really big, and they have a huge pull on us. And this is talking about, the Saturn is also talking about ruling. It rules over the sign of Capricorn, and we do have Capricorn out here on the Empress. And this energy, Saturn and Capricorn together, or Saturn and Neptune are together in Aries right now. And Neptune is another really big planet, and it takes 14 years for it to move from one sign to another. And for the last 14 years, it's been in the sign of Pisces, and Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and Saturn. So that's how we did business. And Pisces is like a water sign that is like the senior executive, the very last sign of the zodiac. And it's a very more dreamy energy, a little things will work out energy, that, more easygoing than the Aries energy for sure. And for 14 years, Neptune has been in Pisces, and it's been very comfortable there. And we've all kind of learned, when we do things in life for the last 14 years, we learn if we do it this way, if we approach, Neptune is talking about how you approach business, how you approach your relationships in business, romantic relationships with family, how you approach problems. And it's a little more, an easygoing energy, whereas now it's moved into Aries, and Aries is a fire sign, and it's the newborn of the zodiac. So this is like a huge change. And, if you've ever had a newborn baby in the house, you may, if you remember that, when they cry, everybody jumps. And it's like, the baby's crying. What are we going to do for the baby? And everybody's trying to get the baby to stop crying. And that's what the energy feels like with this Neptune in Aries. All the systems that we had before, are just not working. The communication isn't there. Something's not a little bit off. And so it's like trying to guess, okay, what's going to work kind of energy. And so this may be talking about you're going to have to tweak your systems, like the ways that you were doing things just aren't going to work the same old way. And so it can be really irritating and frustrating because everything that you learned for the last 14 years now, you have to learn doing it in a very much different way than you were doing it before. And this isn't going away. Like it's Neptune is going to be in Aries for 14 years now. So, you know, we're at the beginning stage of it. So you may as well start taking a look at your systems now and tweaking them. And a lot of people are going through this on the planet right now. And if you don't know where it's coming from, it can really undermine your confidence because all of a sudden what you figured out isn't working. It's like when your phone updates and you wake up in the morning and all of a sudden your stupid phone isn't working and you can't understand how to make it work. It's, you know, you figure it out, but it takes up a bunch of your time that you weren't expecting to spend. And, you know, in the end, though, you might even admit, hey, some of the features are much better, but it's just one more thing to have to do in your busy day, and it's kind of important as well. So it's that type of energy. A lot of people are experiencing that right now. And then we have attachment. So yeah, we could get attached to the old ways that we do things. It can cause a tower because it's an energy of, you know, we don't want to change. But this is saying what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine. Someone is attached to something that's yours. It has to do with pentacles. And it's not a small amount. This is multimillionaire energy. So that it's not a small amount of money. And we have that karmic space of pride as well here. This isn't all or nothing energy. These people, whoever's involved in this energy wants to win. And so it's talking about that type of energy coming towards you. And then we have the trauma queen, and it's life's a slice, hold the drama. This is talking about, this is going to be like, this could be skeletons coming out of the closet for sure. Some information from way back when, and now you have to deal with it. Maybe your mom, your grandma, great-grandma were not able to deal with it themselves before they passed. And now the family bloodline has to deal with it. We have Capricorn energy here. This is, I already explained what that's about, and this is sitting on the Empress. So this is about being responsible and addressing the situation. We have the Magician. So this is talking like, this is your creativity, romance, and children. So this is talking about an energetic upgrade. This could be that you have met someone as well, maybe in this situation somewhere. It could be someone that you've known from the past. Doesn't have to be, but it could be. And it could be talking like someone from your childhood or someone that you haven't seen for like 7 years, 14 years, 21 years. This is talking about falling and failing in love is a matter of eye. So it's talking about really, this is your daily routine and that. It's saying you have to open your heart up and make time to have this new energy come in. You have to let go and release some of the old. We do have the full moon right now as I'm doing this reading. On the 29th it was, so we're it's the last day of July right now. So this is talking about that energy. And so for you right now, it's important for you to love yourself and be willing to look into this so that you can get the best outcome. Let's see, the underlying energy for the external forces is perception. So someone thought the grass is greener on the other side, and now they're finding out it's fake. So this is talking about, that's the danger of letting someone from the past in your life if it's something to do with this. So be careful of that energy, because it could be that someone behind your back knows something and they haven't been telling you. And it would be someone in your inner circle. And that's representing this energy here. We have degradation of energy. Yeah, like if you're in this energy, you're stuck. And, you know, here you are worrying about people and not wanting to make decisions that are going to harm people you love. And it's those same people possibly that are causing all this stress for you and holding back this energy, and here you are dealing with this energy, and you're supposed to be here, and this is what you already are supposed to have. And someone else, for whatever reason, it's not coming. We do have harmony here. So once this information comes in, it's talking about superstar energy. So it's talking about like this energy here coming in when you get the truth here. And because judgment has been called, and this is dissemination of information. There's been an elephant in the room. You may have noticed that, you know, when you walk in the room and all of a sudden everybody goes quiet, or I don't know, there just could be holes in the information in your family. And so there could be something you don't know about. There could be some sort of, trust or something that you're supposed to be receiving. And it doesn't necessarily mean that other people know about it, but definitely someone knows about it and you're not receiving it. And then, and look at it, it's on this energy, you know, there could be lawyers involved in this that are maybe not all the way on the up and up. This is when you have this energy of expectations. It's when you're on a foolish journey. Instead of being on your path of glory and following your north node, you're doing foolish, you know, you're creating a lot of, this is an expectation that you can get away with this, away with something, whatever this is. And this is going to cause major limitations, and that's where this shows up. So I feel like this reality check is really good for your energy if you're on the right side of the law, for sure, because the blessings are going to, this is the blessing that's supposed to be coming in and is being held back. And then we have, oh, someone got tempted. That's a lot of money. So someone got tempted, and so that's the devil, you know. This is temptation. And when the devil shows up, I always cover it with the next card up. I want to see what minion does the devil send in to do his dirty work, because he doesn't do his own dirty work. And does, you know, what can we learn from that? Or does God step in and stop it from happening? And we have Cancer, and this is talking about being engaged in the energy, needing to look into it, like not getting all weighed down by the emotion. And that's the one thing that I've really noticed about this full moon. There's a lot of emotion behind this full moon. There always is. But there's like, I feel like this energy's, you know, and this could be a small thing. It could be a big thing. It could be, you know, many different situations. So just use your discernment here, which is what this is saying. But it's also saying that you're at the time of the moon is when you're most intuitive. And it's saying, listen to your intuition regarding this situation. And then we have anger. You could be really pissed off when you find out what's really been going on. So contain your anger as best you can. This is not a great time to be emotional. Like, it just isn't. People are really on edge. So you don't want to be like confronting people and flipping out and getting all worked up and then tweeting all over the place. That's not good energy to be in right now. You might have very good reason to be angry, and it says an air trigger temper. So it could be something about that. But, you know, anger is the gift that keeps on giving. So if you blow your stack and it causes problems, those problems can last a long time. And it does say justice is coming in. So as long as you're on the right side of the law here, you're going to have a positive outcome. It's saying that here. And there may even be a new lover coming in to replace the one that has you in this mental prison energy. So yeah, just, you know, do your best to, I mean, I'm not saying like you might have every right to be angry, but at the same time, you don't want to cause a bunch of problems for yourself by, like, you know, giving into that and being really impulsive with your energy. So I do hope this has empowered you. There's not a whole lot. Like the one thing I wanted to mention is that the energy of Chiron is on August 3rd. It's going retrograde. And that is a really, really good time. And it will be there retrograde until the beginning of January 2027. But it's a real good time to look after yourself, look after your health, mental and physical. And like, you know, don't get all worked up and get yourself all upset and be stuck in this energy. Get, you know, remain as calm as you can under the circumstances is what I'm saying. So I do, and you know, I will be doing a reading for the new moon coming up. That's not until August 12th. And there's also an eclipse happening. So I will be doing a bonus reading. That'll be the next astrological reading. All right, I do hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for your likes, comments, shares, subscribes. I appreciate them very much. It's helping me build my channel. And I will be back with another astrological reading for you soon. Bye for now, Virgo.